And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas here with you this morning, and we are visiting with Jody Brewer. She's the director of Akron Fossils and Science Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
How exciting to find out that you exist. First of all, tell us where you are located and how long have you been here?
Well, we've been around, I think, almost 12 years, but most of the time we think around 10. That's when we started getting around and people started to know about us. We're in Copley, Ohio, on the corner of Minor Road and Cleveland-Maslin Road. We're just a small, little, tiny science center, and we've really been growing. A lot of fun, exciting things going on there. So it's really great.
What kinds of things would we find when we visit?
We
fossils.
Fossils. That's one thing. We have a lot of different programs, and we have our main center of it all with our basic tour. And that's just something that we have where families can come in, individual people. They go on a personalized tour. There's 3 parts to it. We have a specialized campground room that's done in a campground theme, and that's where we do a lot of the hands-on fossil touching, teach the participants the basic needs for the conditions for fossilization. They get to touch fossils, experiment a little bit with that, what would be necessary with mineral concentration, sediment, quick rapid burial, those sorts of things. And then they have a little activity that they do, and that's fossil replica making. So they see the process of how the scientists take the fossils and they replicate them so they can keep the real fossils safe and study them. And so kids especially love that part of it. Then they move on to an exhibit hall that's just newly renovated, and there's all small little parts to that, and the guide takes them through and just gives them a little mini lesson at each part and answers their questions. Things like there's a little mineral cave. We have an Ohio Fossils exhibit where we have the burning mastodon, some pieces of that, and a Grand Canyon. There is a living fossils exhibit. Just small little things.
What are living fossils?
A living fossil, to be in the living fossil category, would be that you have a living creature also. So when you dig something out of the fossil record, if there's a living one, then it's easier to compare because, like, say a rabbit. We have living rabbits. We can compare them to the rabbits in the fossil record. If there is no living species left, then it's just a fossil, like Triceratops and all that. So we show a lot of regular creatures that are fossilized too, not just dinosaurs, and just kind of tell a complete picture of the fossil record in the area of huge catastrophes that hit our world with massive of sediment layers with billions of dead things in them that had these layers that had been laid down by water, and just kind of getting the people to realize that it ties into a lot of the things that we experience today. So,
wow. You sound like you're talking about the story of Noah.
Yeah.
If a whole bunch of things died all at once and they were covered with water, is that what the scientists are thinking, that actually has got scientific evidence now to talk about the Great Flood?
Yeah, that's one of the things. And like I said, with the 3 parts of the tour, the 3rd part, we kind of make that optional, but that is our tie-in to the biblical interpretation of the science. And so what we do is we show, the fossils, we show what's out there, the sediment layers, and then we say, hey, here's some things that you may have never heard, and that is the tie to the biblical storyline, and that there was a time in Earth's history where there was a great catastrophe and billions of things died. And in that type of conditions that would have existed during a catastrophe of that size, we would see the very things that we do see in the fossil record today.
Would you consider your museum a creation museum?
Well, we have the element of the creation side, and so many people do consider it a creation museum. But the way that we have set up our program is we want everyone to have a chance to come in without feeling like we're going to push them over with the Bible or make them think that there's only one way to look at things. We kind of want them to have the options. And so we've designed it with our new upgrades to be more like a you decide feel, where you can come in and we show you, hey, this is what you've probably already heard in the traditional theories. But here's maybe some things you may never have heard. And then you decide what fits the evidence best. And so, we do have a big audience in the Christian-based community, because we do give that side of the story that the secular schools don't give, and that people aren't always familiar with because it's not as out there as the traditional theories. But we also have a very good ability to allow people who might not see it that way still enjoy a lot of our activities and programming without feeling like we're shoving it in their face.
Do you work with the public schools? It sounds like the perfect field trip for a Christian school or homeschooling association, or even just a family who's homeschooling, or just a family for a fun day. But do you work with public schools as well?
We do, and there are some public schools that are able to get their students to come and without any controversy. And then there's a whole nother realm with the public schools that if anyone has a problem with it, most of the time their trips get canceled. So it is a little touchy. But
or you just go through the first two segments. If you've got it divided up where the Christian tie-in and the biblical tie-in is all in that third room, if they had a problem with that, they could just go to the first two rooms, right? Because that still leaves them with a you decide.
Right. And that's what we do with our public schools. We don't do the third component. And we do send out a letter to the participants saying, this is the science standards that we're meeting for your field trip. We do not cross the lines with that. But still, because some people do not like the message, they still boycott it. And so we do have that. But like you said, the Christian schools love us. And we have some unique ministry opportunities even with the special needs community. They love us really hands-on, so that's a wonderful tie. But yeah, we know how to divide it. And when we have like educational days, that's one of our programs for the schools where they can come in and tell us what they want us to teach, their standards for, say, 4th grade geology or 5th grade operational science, physics, chemistry. And we put a whole day together for them. And it has nothing to do with any of the biblical tie. It's just the strong science that everybody sees, even though we might see it from a creator base. That's not brought up. And so it's just getting them into our doors so they can see that, you know, we all have the same evidence. We all have the same passion for truth and science. And you don't have to really be afraid of it, you know?
And hopefully to just give them a hunger to see what's behind that third door, maybe, and see if it ties in.
Right, exactly. And many of them do come back. We give them a little coupon to come back with their family, a kid-free coupon, and many of them do come back and check us out.
I've heard a saying that says a little bit of science steers you away from the Bible. A whole lot of science brings you right back. Again, what's your response to that?
That's absolutely correct. And we have a really wonderful outreach to the home educated community during the week when we're not open during our off-season hours. And we have science classes in the mornings and the afternoons from kindergarten all the way through senior high. And I get the opportunity to teach a lot of those classes, and with such multi-topics, biology and astronomy. And I mean, the more that I dig in over the years, the more I'm just captivated, because it just leads you to see it. It's everywhere. The creation, the creator, and it's undeniable. But like you said, if you don't really dig in, you don't really understand how complex and how vast it really is. And that's our heart's desire with the people that come, from the public for one visit, or those who do science classes with us, or camps, or our Saturday community outreach programs. We just want them to get inspired to dig a little deeper. And I think because we're so small, we do a good job, because so much hands-on, things they would never get at other larger facilities. And I do think it does drive them to want to know. And you're absolutely correct with that.
You're small, but you've got 3 sections and a new renovation. So with the new exhibit hall, so it sounds rather huge, really, as I'm picturing it. Who's behind this? Who are the scientists behind all of the effort that is the Akron Fossils and Science Center?
Well, our founder, Mr. Bill Sanderson, he was a retired science teacher. He's now a financial planner, and this was his little hobby, his little passion. And he felt a little discouraged that his students in the public school didn't have an opportunity to see both sides of the story, and that's what drove him to start this. And it was a little tiny. He used one of his own personal buildings, and we had maybe like 2 rooms when he started it. Now, like you said, we have the 3 parts. Not only that, we have birthday party rooms. We have an upstairs lab. We have 2 other additional classrooms. We have a new cave that we've created for fossil replica making and finishing to teach the students that.
Fun.
So yeah, there's a lot in our outdoor park. So he was the driving force. And then now we have a very distinguished panel on our board of scientists that have passions, even PhD scientists that love what we're doing and want to see us getting our hands in the community and among the youth of tomorrow and giving them the answers to the questions they have.
Where did your fossils come from? Are they all Ohio fossils? Is Ohio that rich in fossils?
Oh, Ohio is very rich in fossils. And so we do have a lot from Ohio, but the majority of the fossils started from a personal collection of Mr. Sanderson. Wow. Then over the years, many people have donated to us. We've purchased things. We want to do more. We want to have a lot more on our collection, but of course that costs a lot. And so sometimes we're not able to get the real big things, but we make up in a lot of the hands-on things like doing the fossil replica making and being able to walk away with an experience. We have a new animal room. I mean, the kids, they learn how to care for the creatures. I mean, the guinea pigs cut their nails. The turtles were, giving them their ointment on their shells and holding the snakes. And there's just a lot more of the hands-on component. So in some ways, when we don't have some of the bigger things that some of the other facilities would have, we make up in our real personal interaction with the participants.
Families are hearing this and they're saying, we're going to have a week or two where the kids are home for Christmas break, always looking for fun things to do. What are your hours, particularly over the holidays? And what's the cost?
Okay, well, on our off season, our summer is the only time that we have enough funding to stay open on a regular basis. So in the summer, we're open from Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Mm-hmm. On our off season, we're only able to stay open to the public on Saturdays. So it's a little difficult, but Saturday's a great day. So 10 to 5 on Saturdays. Now the prices are $10, mm-hmm. And that is each participant. But like I said, that includes the tour, the fossil replica making, the outdoor park if it tends to be nice. We do have a zip line. It sometimes is too cold for that and all that.
You have a zip line?
Yeah, we have a fun zip line, and that's part of your admission price. But even if it's closed due to weather, we give out a little rain check. They can mm-hmm. come back in the summer. So there's a lot that you get for that.
So it's $10 a head, no matter the age.
No, but we also have a family pass, and I think the family pass is currently at $40. It's either $40 or $50. But that way, if you have a large family, you can all come, bring them in.
Do you have annual memberships?
Yeah, our membership, we have a $75 membership, which includes access to all of our regular programming, like the tour and stuff, and for the whole year. It also includes a little coupon sheet that gives you like $10 off one of our camps and $10 off one of our Simply Science, which is our home educated classes. There's also birthday party upgrades and stuff that you get with that. So there's a lot of perks to that. And we have a lot of people that do that to support us on a regular basis because we are self-funded and we do have a lot of needs.
It sounds like a perfect Christmas present. Mm-hmm. Perfect family Christmas gift right there.
Yes.
I'm seeing our time and we've got to take a little break. Give us a website, phone number, how people can get in touch with you, Jody.
Okay. So that's www.akronfossils.com. And our phone number is 330-665-DINO.
Oh, and cute. And we always repeat that. Go ahead and tell us that again.
330-665-DINO. And the website is www.akronfossils.com.
We're visiting with Jody Brewer. She's director of Akron Fossils and Science Center. Going to take a short break. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.